Hi all, Loz D Punch Out TV. How are you all doing out there? Hope you're all good. Um, I haven't really been doing much videos lately about boxing because, to be honest, there's not a lot happening. I mean, we've got the Crawford fight this week. I'll do a video on that or I'll go live at the weekend. But I just want to talk quickly about the podcast from yesterday on TalkSport with Adam Booth, Paul Smith, Sly Jordan, and Bacon Ears Oliver. Now they mentioned something about Usyk holding up the division, and was certainly criticising Usyk for it, especially Bacon Ears. He was going in, not going in on him, but he was saying he's holding the division up and all stuff like this because he's asked for this extension over his fight between Parker, or whether or not he's going to let the belt go. So I'm just going to play this bit. I'm not going to play all of it, and then we can just get back to you.
Been exhibited by Joseph Parker about when he's going to get his world title shot, because if anyone deserves a world title shot, it's Joe Parker. And he's been unfortunate because of the timing with Daniel Dubois, he didn't get it. Now, we've seen Usyk stand down on making a decision, get an extension to the 28-day timeline that he had to decide whether he's going to defend his WBO title. Yet, we've seen him out dancing at a music festival, and Joe Parker not being particularly happy about it and getting a bit irritated. He's fucking right, isn't he?
So he should be. You know, like you see Alexander Usyk out dancing, partying with an injured shoulder. It's very much like me. I was like that Saturday night at a wedding, actually. That's another conversation. But yeah, I would feel frustrated. Joseph Parker seems to have been frozen out, you know, at a time when he should be getting his world title shot. He's worked to get that, you know, more so than any other heavyweight out there right now. Alexander Usyk is not just holding up the WBO title right now, but he's holding up the heavyweight division for all these fighters that we've been talking about on this show getting their shot. And these fighters may have to mix it with each other before getting their shot. And that's sort of unfair, really, because one of them's going to lose and he's going to have to climb the ladder again. You go like, so Usyk really needs to make the decision. Look, he's been undisputed world champion twice. Give the belts up, give the other fighters a chance to go for it. Yeah, and that's pretty much where you're at. I feel sorry for Joseph Parker right now because his next fight will be a tough one against whoever, and we don't know if the world title fight is going to be on the line.
Put aside our recriminations about Alexander Usyk. By the way, he's pretty much carried himself impeccably for most of his career. Maybe he gets a bit of latitude. Can I counter that? Was he not in the right time?
Exactly. I totally agree with Paul Smith. Has he not earned the right to have a bit of a break? So I just want to go back to what Bacon Ears has just said. So Bacon Ears there has just said that he's not only holding up the WBO belt, he's holding up the heavyweight division, and it's not fair on Joseph Parker. He deserves his title shot. Simone Jordan said, yeah, it's fucking right, but he sort of like cut the effing down. So my question is, I totally agree with what they're saying, apart from holding up the division, because Joseph Parker does deserve his shot, absolutely does. And there's no one more than me who's been banging on about this for well over a year. Well, I've been saying it since he beat Zhang. Why is this guy not... Before Zhang, when he beat... oh, God, who was it? Was it Wilder? And I said, why? No, it was after the Zhang fight, sorry. I started to bang the drum for it. But you never came with that same energy, Bacon Ears, when Daniel Dubois jumped ship and went and fought Alexander Usyk. You weren't banging the drum and saying it's not fair on Joseph Parker. You know, did you ever say to Daniel Dubois when you interviewed him at Don Charles's gym, did you ever say to him, it's not fair what you've done? You're holding up this man's chance of a title shot. No, you fucking didn't. No, you didn't. But because it's Alexander Usyk, the man who you always go against, and same with Sly Jordan. You two cretins. End of the day, did you ever say when Anthony Joshua had that big layoff after he beat Pulev and regained the belts? No, you didn't. Did you ever say it when Tyson Fury was fucking around fighting Ngannou and fighting Derek Chisora? I know Sly Jordan did. He actually said that the Ngannou fight was bullshit. But did any of you ever say that Tyson Fury was holding up the division when he was ducking Usyk for 2 years? No, you didn't. None of you did. Alexander Usyk's a couple of, not even 2 months since the fight, or if it is 2 months. Alexander Usyk's cleaned house twice. He deserves to have 7-8 months time off if he wants, because all over heavyweight fighters do when they win belts. Now, like I say, I agree with about the bit about Parker not getting his title shot, because he was done over by the Bums. The Bums ducked him, which was a plain duck, which I didn't hear you say that to Daniel Dubois. Oh, you stuffed over Joseph Parker, and now he's got to wait for another title shot. I didn't hear you saying that to him. Just like I didn't hear you asking him where he went missing for 27 days before he popped back up. But because it's Alexander Usyk, you want to go in on him. The hypocrisy is on another level, especially from Bacon ears. Well, we all know he's a rimmer, an Anthony Joshua rimmer. But there's no one who's gone in more on about it than me. About Parker deserving his title shot. I banged the drum about fucking for months and months and months about the Bums ducking him. I said he was going to duck him. I got it bang on right. I said he wasn't going to fight him. As soon as that fight the plug got pulled on it, I said Joseph Parker will end up fighting someone else, which he did, Bacoli. And I said, mark my words. For them 27 days he went missing, I said, you mark my words. After when he comes out, he'll be penciled in that he's fighting Alexander Usyk. And I got it bang on. Bang on. And I said again, I said, Parker will get ducked. He's shafting him. About Frank Warren talking about he'll be fighting the next for the title if Usyk gives it up, or he'll be fighting Alexander Usyk. Oh, so where's all this come about now? Fabio Wardley. I agree with Bacon Ears and Sly Jordan on that bit, that he shouldn't have to. Well, they are saying it's a good fight, and Bacon Ears was saying that Parker's all good, all his style's good for Fabio Wardley, and then Adam Booth and Paul Smith said no, he won't. No, it's not. But the hypocrisy is on another level. Now, getting to talking about Joseph Parker, yes, I feel the man's pain. Yes, I do. The man should be fighting for a world title. But I've said it all along, Joe. Whilst you're with Frank Warren, it won't happen. I can't see it happening. And now they're talking about him fighting Fabio Wardley. For me personally, this is my opinion. I think he knocks Fabio Wardley out. I think he stops Fabio Wardley mid to late rounds. Fabio Wardley, for me, great lad, nice, pleasant lad, good fighter, and done very well for where he's come from with no amateur background and all, you know, all the rest. But when you're going to fight someone with a bit of pop and can move and box, and he's got way more experience than you, fought better fighters than you, I just can't see. Don't get me wrong, Fabio's got the one-punch power. We all know he's got the equaliser. But he got towed up off Justice Uni. If he'd have hit a bit harder, I think he'd have knocked Fabio Wardley out. He'd have stopped him. There was several times in that fight where Fabio Wardley looked shaken and he had no plan B. And then he equalised Justice Uni. For me, Parker hits way harder than him. He's not a massive puncher, Parker, but he certainly ain't feather-fisted. So, yeah, he's going to fight Fabio Wardley. In a way, do we want it to happen? Not really, but like Adam Booth said, how long can Parker be stood around for? He ain't going to get his title shot, I don't think. So yeah, take the Fabio Wardley fight. Keep yourself busy. Unless we see what Usyk does in the next couple of weeks. And I can understand he's pissed off because he's doing that video of him dancing, but Alexander Usyk deserves the right to have some time off. He's been out of the ring for a couple of weeks, a couple of months, and Bacon Ears and Sly Jordan are saying that he's holding up the division as well as holding up the WBO belt. And now they're banging on it's not fair on Joseph Parker. But you never said that when Daniel Dubois ducked him and went off and fought Parker. There wasn't one word of you saying that to Daniel Dubois. And I watched all the interviews you did with him. You never once ever mentioned where did you go missing for 27 days before you popped back up. Why did you not fight Joseph Parker? Joseph Parker deserves a title shot. You might have said that, but you definitely weren't banging the drum about it like what you were just then, criticising Alexander Usyk, saying he holds up the division. Yet Tyson Fury did it for 2 years, kept that WBC belt hostage. You never said anything about that. And look at all the other heavyweight fighters who fight once a year. Yes, Parker does deserve his shot, but the way how it's going at the moment, I don't think he'll get his shot anyway. And I probably can see him end up fighting Wardley, which he shouldn't be. He should be fighting Usyk next. But for me, personally, don't get me wrong, I don't want Usyk to be having like 6 months off or something like that. Or, do you know what I mean? I want a decision made in the next few weeks. But for the meantime, just get off the man's fucking nuts. Leave him be. Let him enjoy some time. He doesn't have to come out with answers straight away. End of the day, he's the undisputed champ. If the WBO don't like it, then they'll strip him. Yeah, it might sound contradicting because I feel for Parker, but I also feel for Usyk. Let the man have some time off. Let him make his decisions. He's put an appeal in for an extra 28 days or whatever it is. Let the fucking 28 days run out and then see what happens. Let me know what you think anyway. Or is it just me rambling on? Probably me just rambling on. But yeah, I'll be back this Friday with a live stream. And I don't know whether to do a video or just do a live stream. Or do both. But I'll be talking about the Crawford and Canelo as well. And the other fights what are coming up. But we need some of these big Riyadh cards. I know there's the one coming up soon, but I think it's November, isn't it? The one with Benavidez and Yard. Anyway, peace out. Catch you on the next one.